now. Welcome everybody. This is the Thursday evening Viper Trading webinar. If you're here to learn about trading the futures markets using the Viper tools, you're absolutely in the right place. All communications from Viper Trading Systems are for educational purposes only. Futures and Forex trading does involve risk, and there is a risk of loss. Nothing contained in this webinar or other webinars, including the live trading room, are to be construed as investment or trading advice. And of course, everybody in here does know you do trade at your own sole discretion. Alrighty then, so we're going to cover a number of different topics here tonight. The main topic, as we set out to, are you looking at the disclaimer or screen one? Disclaimer? Screen one. Do you see a, you know, I think, was the disclaimer up when I read it? Here's a disclaimer. Oh, you're looking at a gold, you were looking at a gold chart. I mean, anyway. All right, there, now you should see gold. Or no, 6J. Everybody see 6J? Who cares about the disclaimer? I don't think anybody really does. We said the words, that's all that matters, right? In the end, that's all that matters. Okay, so let's kick things off here. So this is, for anybody new in here, this is our indicator package on a 4-range 6J chart. This is the yen futures. And you can see that we're pretty sideways on it most of the day in a well-defined area that was marginally tradable right in here through most of the morning. We did have a little jaunt up here into the late afternoon session of the trading. Market closed here. U.S. market closed 1 o'clock, 1:15 right here, Pacific time, and then we started to go into a little bit of a downtrending move. So the question is, if we're going to, by the way, this is live data, but I am going to trade it in sim. Most of you know there's a spread on here and not a whole lot of volume, and I really don't want to get sucked into a bunch of 6J trades, so we're going to do them as a team. So the obvious thing is to put in some short trades. Now, the question then becomes, how far up do we think this thing's going to retrace? So let me pop a couple of questions to the team here to sort of determine what we want to do with 6J. So how many of you vote to go ahead and short it right now? It's come off the bottom here. It's come up, looks like about maybe 6-8 ticks off this swing low down here at 460. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I get a little cough here tonight. Short it now or wait? Let me give you some other ideas as you're pondering that question. We could put a sell order up in here. We could put a sell order up in here, a little bit higher, and it'll take a vote on these. How many? Pretty much everybody's saying no. No market sell on 6J now. So I've got some orders in here. Let's call the lowest one A. B is this middle one here at 60, and then C is all the way up here at the mid-band. I'm going to take a vote of the team here tonight. A, closest. B, middle. C, mid-band. Now this would be sell orders to short the market on a retrace, because everyone here said no, we have to wait for a retracement, which is good. That's how we trade. We're retracement traders, right? Retracement traders. So we're taking a vote here, and whichever A, B, or C. C, of course, is up here at the mid-band. Ooh, I see some Bs, quite a few Cs, a couple of As. Between B and C. You have to be difficult there, don't you, Carl? More A's coming in from D and Tom. Walter with an A. Dennis with a B or a C. What a mix. Jiminy Christmas. All right. Tell you what we're going to do. Since there's so many different we don't have a consensus on this, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to just leave all three on there and tuck this in the corner and keep an eye on it. Okay, let's get a gold chart down here. I know I'm jumping in kind of quick because I want to get some trades on the board here, so we can start talking about some other things while we watch them. Here's a gold chart, very similar. You can see we had a sell-off down here. We're coming up to the mid-band. Let me put a couple of sell orders in here, see if we get popped. We got one there, and how about up here? Oops, no, I don't want two there. Oh, I want one there. I want to get to... Any votes? Let me do a little ABC thing here. A, we're shorting a retrace. Go top of the candle there, go to mid-band. Anybody want to see? Anybody think she's going to go higher than the mid-band on a gold retracement? Now look at the chart. Okay, we're filled short one. We're filled short one on 6J. Dennis, good. I was just going to do that. Dennis, you're the best. He said, draw some lines on the chart so we can see support and resistance. Good call. I swear, I was just about to do that. Let me back up the gold chart. Stand by. And that's, by the way, we all know that is a team effort. I appreciate it. D says higher. All right, we are already in one lot short on gold, and we have one filled short on 6J. Clearly, we can see there's resistance from this prior support swing way up here. I'm going to put a couple of lines in here. This is, of course, similar to what Gary does in the live room, and we all should be doing on our own live charts to determine swing levels on where we're going to get in, right? All right. Now, you can make the case. I mean, clearly this level here at 72.20 was a strong support area for a long time. But you could also make the case that there's another swing right up in here. You know, sort of right there. I mean, it's fairly close to the other one, but so let's do this. A couple of you said higher. You want to go higher than this, or you want to go like up in here for that third? So we got one we got filled on, that was the A. B is sitting right at the mid-band at 70.70, and C would be up close, fading the 71.30 swing by a tick in case we get one bip up there and roll, right? 71, says D. Couple votes for C on our ABC, A, B, C. Let's come back and look at 6J. Let's see what's going on. We got a little roll on 6J. Up a couple of ticks over here. Up a couple of ticks on gold. All right, scanning the markets. Does anybody see anything else moving right now? I'm going to try to put did anybody see if 6S is moving? Walter and Dennis are voting for B. Okay. By the way, there's a number of reasons why I'm doing this. Okay. First of all, we're trying to illustrate that you know, we're after hours, so you're not going to get the same volatility you do early in the market like with the equities, because there's so much volume, a lot of scripts and everything pushing the markets around. You don't quite get that same amount, but this is good for illustrative purposes to see where you can get in trades on close, more shallow retracements, mid-band retracements, and if you go a little bit higher. So I think this is a good learning possibility here. Does anybody see if 6S is moving? Or crude oil? Anybody have your charts open? Give it a quick peek. Help me scan the market a little bit here. I'm going to try. If you see any other thing moving, anybody see if 6E or 6B is moving, 6S, any of the currency futures? By the way, you got to, hey, just a quick heads up, you got to remember to roll your instruments tonight for tomorrow, right? All the equity charts, all the equity instruments roll to. Hold on, let me get a 6S chart up here. Stand by. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get 6S up. 1 second, please. And I'll show you about the roll in just a minute here. See, we need a 4 range chart here. Okay, we got a 2. We need a 4. Okay, it's loading. Stand by. I'll drag it down in 1 second, please. Okay, here's the charts live again. Got 6 ticks in our gold trade. All right, since we're short one and we're not going any higher, we might come back up and challenge that swing one more time. Notice, just real quick, I'm going to do some. Your charts are loading. Currencies also roll. Yeah, let me drag that over here. Before we do that, if we go ahead and roll down on, let me before I show the rolling thing, I just want to show one thing here. I'm going to take a quick vote on this as well. This was our swing low. We came up, we bipped in on our shallow fill at 540 on 6J. We got a slight move. I'd say this is maybe 4 or 5 ticks in our favor. We did not get down to check the low. Now that's interesting. See the swing of this candle? Missed this by 2 ticks. So the question is, if we only stay in one short, hey David, no problem. We're still kind of early in the thing. We're just really getting started. We're short, so we need to buy to cover. Vote on where to buy to cover our one lot. We could go just above the wick of that candle. We'll call that A. You could buy it back just a tick shy of the bottom. We'll call that B. And if you want to vote for C, we could have a runner that takes the bottom out. Whatever the team wishes to do. A is the tight sort of scalper target within, say, a tick of the bottom of the wick of the candle it just formed a couple minutes ago. B is 2 ticks off the bottom here, this most recent swing. And then, of course, you could go much lower for a runner, expecting this to roll again, taking these 2 off. A tight, B, or C. Whatever the prevailing vote of the team. Ooh, another mix. Got A. Let me count the A's. Well, there's only one A, and that's Tom. Counting B's. Brian D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dennis just weighing in. 6 B's, 2 A's, and 1 C runner from Mark. So as of the current tally from the team, the B's have it. We will leave B on. Interesting to take votes like this. It's really kind of fun to see how, you know, when you get the whole team in here like this, how everybody sees the trade, you know, a little bit differently. Now let's go over, we did roll on our one lot here on gold. We're up about 10, 11 ticks. Let's do a similar thing on gold. We're short, we've got to buy it back. Let's call that one A. Let's call this one B. A very similar situation here, and a runner on our one lot. Gold short. Cast your votes, team, cast your votes. A, just under the swing at 69. B, fading the bottom by 2 ticks. This swing right here, it's 68.30. And then a runner down here. A, B, C. Counting A's. 1 A, 2 A's, 3, 4 A's. Okay. Counting B's. David, Brent, 1, 2, Chris, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gentlemen, place your bets. No more betting, please. All right, going back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 B's, 2, 3, 4 A's. All right, the B's have it again. You know, I like that. You know, in fact, I'll tell you what we could do off this swing. You know, sometimes if you just go on a target like this where you're just, you know, just maybe one tick shy of the swing, you know, the likelihood, you know, if we wanted to kind of split the difference between where A was right up here, and B, you could almost do something more like that. You know, if you're going to fade it, that has a pretty good likelihood of filling. You know, and given the fact that it's after hours, I don't know that we would get a runner. So I'll go ahead and stick. We'll go ahead and stick with B there. All right, let's pull another chart or two up here. Anybody see anything else moving in the current market condition? 6S. I've got a 6S chart up here. It's a little flatter than gold and 6J. somewhat similar condition in the fact that the background is red, and it's been a series of lower highs and lower lows, so we're downtrending, no question about it. The last spike it had before it double bottomed down there was up here at you know, just above the mid-band, right up in here. However, you know, it is finding some resistance at this under this 980, 850. All right, so once again, I can do an ABC and take a little vote here. A was going to be really tight. I'd say let's put a sell stop right on the wick of this candle here. That's really tight. Let's see if anybody votes for that. B, I'm going to go ahead and put right just shy of the mid-band, or we can go right on the mid-band if you want, right in here. And then C would be at the apex of this last swing. Take a quick team vote on this one. A, super tight. In other words, if this bar closes up and bips that 47, you will be short one. 2 is the A. B, just shy of the mid-band at 9851. Mid-band's at 52. And then C is the highest one at 55, fading the 56 swing by 1 tick. Taking votes, cast your vote. Let the betting begin. And we shall do our count, and whichever predominantly letter wins, we shall leave, unless there's a tie. Cast your votes. We'll give you another 10 seconds. A, B, or C. A tight, B just tick shy of the mid-band, and C, of course, just right up here at that apex of that swing. So really, you know, as you think about it and you type your answers in, what it really, you know, when you're looking at this, you know, the most favorable approach, and you do get this in the early morning as we're trading those equity markets and oil, and it's, you know, markets are very volatile and they're moving all over the place. You know, there's a strong likelihood, and most of you, of course, know this, that at some point your trade is going to come back somewhere near the mid-band. And I know that's ideal. Everybody, whenever I ask about trades, everybody says, oh yeah, I want to get in. I want to buy the bounce to mid-band. I want to sell resistance in the mid-band. And we all know that many times it will come up close to right at it or slightly above it. And that's an ideal entry. And we would actually be using Object Trader to get in with either our line array tools or boxing it, or, you know, whatever way we use to get in. That's how we would actually take the trade itself. I'm simply putting these in here to illustrate the fact that, you know, sometimes markets don't, you know, if you're in a big moving downtrend like this, it doesn't always come back to the mid-band, right? Sometimes you just run a little bit shy, sometimes a tick or two, sometimes 5 ticks. All right, I'm getting a big mix of A and Bs. Yeah, almost all A and Bs. I don't see any C. I see 1 C from Brent. So based on that, I'm gonna just go ahead and take the C off, and we'll leave A and B on for now. All right, question here, coming back and revisiting what we're doing. Any takers? Notice we came back up here and almost challenged our entry spot on the 540 entry short here. Notice these candles were coming up. A quick question for the team. How many of you feel, and this is related to our topic, so let me open this up and start to have a dialogue about this very issue. Whenever you're in a trade and you get a situation like this, no matter what instrument it is or what time you're trading it, you know, you get in a trade, you get wicked into a trade, however you get in the trade, Object Trader, and then it moves in your favor like this. You know, gives you 4, 5, 6, whatever, 7 ticks. Doesn't hit your target. You know, misses a swing just like it did right here, and then you start to get this coming back close to your entry, just like that. How does everybody feel about that? What does that make you feel when you see that? You know, whatever little success you were having you start to evaporate, and you come back, and now you're only up a tick, or even worse. Sometimes it comes up like this. In this case, it rolled. How do you feel about that? How do you deal with that? Anybody? All right, we're coming back down. It's moving in our favor. Itchy trigger to get out, huh, Walter? Yeah. I want to tighten the stop, says Tom. Just part of trading, says Mark. Feels support, stop out, plus or one, make even, break even. I feel nothing. I am Anybody want to move that target out of the way? Or leave it where it is? M for move, L for leave. Are we going to pop down and get it? Or are we going to break down through it? What's another way we could play this? Let me, as you're pondering that, should we get a trailing stop in? Anybody up for a trailing stop? We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves, and then Mark says, let her run. There you go. Move the target down and put in a stop. All right. Okay, let's do that. Let's take these cells out of here. Those didn't get filled. And let's get a stop in here. Let me give you some options. Buy to cover stops, right? Buy to cover stops. Everybody voted to leave, so we'll leave that right there. There's one. There's A above the entry. Buy to cover stop 2 ticks under the entry, and then buy to cover stop here. Take a quick type in your letter A above, B 2 ticks in the money, C just above line 2, or I'm sorry, line 3, where the wick of this last candle was here. A, B, C. Take a vote for the trailing stop that we're putting in place. Not been filled on 6S yet. This candle's kind of stalling out a little bit here. Ooh, a lot of C's. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 B's and a ton of C's. Okay. All right, let's leave C in. The team voted for C, so that's what you get. All right, so this is what we call this. Obviously, you know this. It's a free trade in the fact that no matter where it goes at some point, it's either going to hit the target down here, and you're going to get, you know, you're going to make your target, or it's going to stop out. And either way, you make money. Now we need to do the same thing on gold. We did not get filled on those two, but we do need to put some stops in here. I'll give you 2 options on a buy to cover stop. We'll go one there, and we'll go one here. We'll just do an A and B on that one. Just an A and B on gold stops. A above, B below. It's that simple. Just type in an A or a B. Whatever the team likes, we shall do. A above, B below. Now see, we're coming down. You know, this affects your thinking. It should. It should affect your thinking as you watch the current price action start to move closer down towards your stop. The thinking should be, as I'm trying to help everyone here tonight sort of think through this is the way I look at it, is that the closer, the more movement, you know, favorably you get in your direction of the trade, in this case short, of course, towards your target, you're wanting to tighten the stop. Right? You're essentially boxing it in. That's what we're doing over here with 6J, right? We're boxing it in. It's going to hit eventually one or the other. It's going to go down and bip this, or it's going to bip up here. Now the trade-off here, let me quickly shift back to 6J. If you want to use a more aggressive trailing stop and you think this bottom's going to break, you could do this. You could let this go to see if it will become a runner. And then what happens is as just hypothetically, if we get an A, B, C sort of stair-stepping down like this, you would just simply trail your stop behind the next bar, next bar, and you just let it, and you try to maximize the drop. Let's take one more quick vote on that. Yeah, everybody understand what I'm saying? You can buy to cover here, fading that bottom, thinking that's going to hold, or you can go with the runner and tighten the stop. Taking a vote from the team. You do the same thing with gold. Let me illustrate what I'm talking about. Let me just physically show you on the chart. As that bar closes, we take the stop down perhaps to here, and we take the target down to here. So you have kind of this rolling, this notion of a rolling sort of box. You know, as it oscillates with this sort of ABC type movement, right? You get the A, you get the B, we got a little bit of a C, and now we're kind of in another leg. See how the bars move like that, right? And so if we assume that it's going to continue to do that, then essentially you have sort of a rolling box. It just sort of follows it down. The stop trails it down, targets trails it down, unless you get rolling box, runner in the stop. Oh, interesting. From Brian, a comment from Brian here is he would do the okay. Let's do both. Let's do both. Let's leave this one like it is. Interesting point, Brian. He said he would be more inclined to do a rolling box type of deal if there were multiple contracts on, meaning 2 or more, because then you would want to pull in actuality here, if you were really trading this, you would probably have already pulled the first contract somewhere in here. You would have wanted out of that real quick. Now it might go up and get our BIP our stop. Let me take it 1 tick higher. See if we can stay in that puppy. Okay, we're looking for this to hold. I'm sort of thinking this right here. I'm going to put a line where I think it's going to hold. So I'd like to stay in it. See one more shot at the target here. Gold's trying to close. Nope, closing back up. Could push that gold stop back up where it was. You want to give a little bit of wiggle room down there, and then I would go ahead and drag that target back up. Gonna get us. 6J. Still not filled over here on 6S. Waiting for that to fill. See if we get it. One more tick. One more tick, it'll take that stop. Yeah, see, we were really too aggressive on that target, weren't we? We really should have tried to get out here. See, all it did was this last candle that formed while we were in the room. I think right after it rolled and we got in, it just checked the wick of this candle right here. See it? This one right here. BIP got us. Yeah. I mean, I think we took a vote. We took a lot of votes here, but I'm trying to remember. There was a target that was sitting in here. That was the A, remember? Yeah, the B was here, and then the C was the runner. I think the team predominantly voted B, so we wound up putting it here. Remember? B was here. A was up here. So if you had the A, if we went with the A on the scalp target on the one lot, we would have been out of that and hit a target. I told you. I'd like a recount. Excuse me. Let me get a sip of tea. Hold on. I like that. We need a recount. I told you go with A, Tom says. I love it. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Well, I mean, that's the way trading goes, right? I mean, that's exactly the way trading goes. All right, let's do this. Gold's kind of stalling out here. I'll tell you what I really want to do. I want to try to get, this might sound a little silly, but there's reasons I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and short because I want to get into a trade that's upside down a little bit, so almost sort of intentionally, so that we can talk through it together. All right. So just for the heck of it, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just short. This is live data, but we're in sim, right? I'm going to short the market here on 6S. Now, did everybody see what happened there? You see where I got filled? I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to intentionally get upside down. See, due to the slippage, you got filled. Due to the slippage, you got filled here. The price is up here. So you're already upside down big. Now the fill wasn't so bad over here because you got decent, very little slippage. So if whatever you're trading after hours, you really want to check that slippage number just to be safe. Sometimes it can be big. Just to get filled on a market sell here, we're already down 25 bucks. So just a heads up on that. 6 on the Swissy 6S here. Let's see if it gets any better. I'm going to leave these sell orders in up here. All right, now that we're starting to move down a little bit more on gold, should we drop the stop? Yes? You bet? No? Yes or no? Simple yes or no. We're taking a vote. We got one no from Tom. Tom's running a little counter at the thing there, but he did call the out on that 6J. All right, we're coming down. Yes. We got a whole mess of Y's and 2 no's. All right, so we'll leave that. Take another vote on gold. Move the target, yes or no? Leave it here or put it here? This would be the rolling box thing again, question. Yes, leave it here. No, move it. Gold target. It's coming right to it. Hurry up, make your vote. Wow, a lot of yeses. Move it, move it, move it. All right. That's the thing about gold. You might get a pretty decent move here. So I'll tell you what, we'll just for the heck of it. Now here's the thing you could do. Okay, now this is another thing I want to show here. If and when the bars close and you get down to this swing right here, you can always watch what it does. Now this is the alternative to fading the swing. If you think the swing might break and you're going to get a more pronounced move, as it gets down into here, we can crank the stop down tighter like this. We'll start going a close above the prior bar. All right, back over to 6J, quick vote. Anybody want to take scalper profits here or buy it back if it breaks? A, scalper, S for scalper. B, runner, let it break. Now see it stalling out here? Okay, we got quite a few votes coming in on this one. B, A, a lot of A's. Ooh, that's a mixed one. I'll tell you what we can do. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Okay, we're coming down. Coming down. Ooh, whoa, 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 Big Joe. Hold on, Big Jake. Whoa, Big Jim, Big Nelly. There's your answer. If you'd faded it, you'd be out. All right, we've got to get a stop in here on 6J now. See, it just bit through that bottom. Okay, now we got to get our free trade on the table. We got to buy it back up here. At least get a tick out of it. It's starting to move down precipitously. Ah, got us! Got us before I could move it. Bam! Whoa, gold. Okay, now here's what I was saying about gold. Crank this gold stops down. Crank them down. It just broke that bottom. Go ahead, tighten this up a little bit, just like that. See the box? See it moving down? See it? Get that stop out of the way. Bam! We just nailed it. Just nailed it on that bar right there. That was pretty cool. I told you to let it run, says Mark. Stop's up here. We got to get out of it. We got to get that stop out. It's up by the mid-band. That turned out to be a good trade, huh? Ah. All right, we got our box on gold here. Anybody want to re-short? We got a support resistance up by the mid-band. Any takers on re-shorting this puppy? Up here. Yes or no? Okay, let me give you some options. Always like to have some options. You know the drill, A, B, or C. A is always the tight one. A is pretty tight. It's underneath that swing right there that just got broken. Put B right here, and then we'll put C up by the mid-band. I don't know if she's going to pull back. She just precipitously, it's like the market just cranked into gear there. That gold trade turned out to be pretty nice, didn't it? I'm going to widen out a little bit. I think she's going to drop a little further. She could do it quickly too, just like 6J. It's like something kicked into. Okay, we got a lot of B votes. It's a mix of A's and B's on re-shorting 6J. It's almost even on the ABC vote on re-shorting 6J. So I'll take C off the table. Now this thing might just plow right through. Okay, let me offer an oddball one. Anybody want to do this? Any takers on that? Yes or no? Sell the break. Any takers? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to get some targets and stops in on our friend Mr. 6S over here. We're short. We got to buy it back. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a buy stop for the heck of it up here. Any yeses on the shorts, on the break? In other words, if it comes down through here, do you want to be filled short, yes or no? That's the question on the table now for the team. Yes or no on the breakdown short of support on 6J, yes or no, would you take that? What say you, team? See how I'm adjusting the box a little bit here as it happens in real time? No, we only have one yes. And that's from Brent. Everybody else in the entire team here tonight voted no. Ooh, all right. It's not a retrace. That's right. Okay, good. All right, so the team voted that off the table. You have been denied. All right, now here's what I'll show I'm doing here. Here's what I'm doing. And this is how this sort of dynamically adjusts on the fly. I watch candles and the market as it develops, okay? So if you notice what happened here, let me just use it for illustrative purposes. For the heck of it, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I know everybody voted against this, but I'm going to sell the break because it's so heavy. It's so heavy it's going to take it out. And here, how do you know? How do you know it's heavy and that this might have a strong conviction of happening? What makes me think, what makes you say it's heavy and it's going to break? Why am I saying that? This subtle little things that just, I guess you sort of pick up as the more 10,000 hours of chart time helps. Yeah, it can't bounce, and I'm watching these swings. When I say it's heavy, I mean that if you're going to get some retrace, it should theoretically come back up into here, right? There should be some short covering that pushes the market up into more like some type of resistance type area to fill a short on a retrace. Sometimes when a market is moving very precipitously and there's a lot of sell out programs running and the predominant, there's a lot of bears in the market pushing it lower, it sits down here like this, and then eventually it breaks. It can break with conviction, fill you quickly. Sometimes you don't get a good fill. That's going to break. I'm telling you right now. So that's the way I start to look at it. I start to say this thing's heavy. It's not going to come all the way back up here. Not now. It's going to break and go lower and then come up to some other level. Now, I watched the same thing. This is sort of a little subtle insight thing about how when I'm looking at markets in real time, see how that held that and it's coming up? Now, if it had done kind of what 6J is doing, in other words, I'm going to watch this market when it comes up into here. That's why I moved it higher. I wanted to stay in this trade because I think it's going to check right there and theoretically should roll right in here. So I'm 2 ticks above that where I'm expecting a rollover. Let me blow it up so you can see it a little better. Let's get some of this other stuff off of here. It's not needed and confusing. And we don't need that anymore. So this is how I kind of dynamically adjust on the fly. If I want to stay in a trade, I'll give it some more wiggle room. I'll pull the stop up a little bit. I'll look at where the support resistance swing is. I'll fade it, go up a little bit more if I want to stay in it. If I want out of it, I'll drag it down because there's a likelihood if I had it in here, it's going to fill on a quick pop, right? But I want to stay in this one. The other thing I can start doing is you can start pulling this target back up like this. Now, if we go up, and this, I'm sort of extolling my plan to you here on how I look at these. If it comes up here and hits this and rolls and starts dropping again, see it's starting to roll and drop? I'll take this out of the way, just like this. See it rolling? And as it comes down and approaches and takes this out, I will immediately get the stop down behind it. That's why I'm moving it. That's why I'm moving it, David. If you're wondering why I'm moving these things the way I'm moving them, that's why I'm moving them. I'm sort of, can you see as the market moves, you sort of follow along with it? In my view, that's how it's going to break. That 6J's just broke. I told you it was going to break. See how weak it was? It was telling you it was going to break. That's how you know. Now, question is, it was in sim, and the fill seemed to be okay. You can do a lot of slippage there. So that's how you try to get maximum movement out of your trade, right? I mean, that's always the trade-off. Whenever I Skype and talk to traders, that's one of the main questions is, I always get out, you know, and I leave so much on the table. Yeah, you know, I scalp 5 ticks, and I do that pretty consistently, but then the thing drops 60, and I miss the whole move. Well, the way you can avoid that is kind of what I'm showing you right here. If a market's moving quickly in a given direction down, you want to try to get your targets out of the way, or, you know, the other and this is if you're trading 1 or 2 lot, right? I think gold's going to break that, and it's going to do it pretty precipitously in my view. Maybe not. We'll see. You got to roll with it. That's the way you get out of it. I mean, in the beginning, if you can trade 2 lot, most of you know this, and we've talked about it a million times, and countless untold webinars, you know, we keep talking about the fact that you got to get the scalper off the table and get your stop down as quickly as possible. I'm going to rebox it like that. So, yeah, just to be clear, and this is if you're doing it, of course, if you had Object Trader on, Object Trader would move this stuff around anyway. You wouldn't have to worry about it. But as the market retraces a little bit up to what I see as resistance, I'll just make a slight adjustment like that. As it rolls over and starts to move in our favor, I'll move the target out of the way and then drag the stop down. Just like that. All right, we're getting a little upside down on our 6J trade, but notice how weak it is, and we're only down by a tick or two. There's a downtrend line. I think if it retraced, you know, it might get back up into here. Got to stay under there. Starting to move a little bit in our favor. Had a feeling it would. It never filled those two. I knew it would never get up there. How do we know that? Because it was heavy. It was weak. Not in here, right? You could tell. You could tell it was building the apex of a triangle, and the apex of the triangle was right at resistance. You can tell. You knew it was going to break. It was telling you just like that. And all the pressure was right here. All right. So now we got a little bit of a runner on our hands here. We've got to get a stop in on 6J. We rolled over, testing that bottom on gold. I see it coming. If we take it out, now we take the stops down like this. It's taking it out. That's it. Voting on stops on 6J. Protected by a stop. We can go above our entry, A, or B, just below it. A or B. Quickly, let's vote. A or B. 6J short, buy to cover, A or B. Type in a letter. Por favor, señoritas and señores. A or B. Wow. Predominantly B's. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's, and the rest are all B's. Okay, B it is. B it is. The team voted for B. Okay. All right. Now we're coming down here on our 6S. We need to move the stop and the target, in my view. I don't have a stop or a target on 6J. simply because we have to go back here and find another swing somewhere. Let's see if we can find one here. It's way. I'm just gonna let the runner run. We'll just cover it with a stop. Okay. Oops. Okay. B stop is in over here. Gold's still moving in our favor. If this bar closes down, okay, I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna go just above the stealth line there because I think that should hold a lower high like this. See that? See the ABC it's putting in? A, B, C. Should come up into here and roll. So I expect this to hold it as resistance. So I'm just 2 ticks above that on our stops. All right, we're coming down here. We need to move the stops on our 6S short. We're fading down here. I would suggest at least pulling the stop down to here so we got the free trade on, right? Can't lose money. We either make money on a stop or a target. Any calls for moving the target lower to a runner on 6S, just like we did on gold. Anybody? A, leave it where it is, fading that. Okay, we're out of our 6J. That was a nice little scalp there, right? You see that? The break didn't hurt you on that one. That we knew it was heavy. It broke and gave you a pop. Okay? A, leave the 6S buy to cover stop shy of the swing, just this we have since we put the trade on, or B, move it to a runner. Team weighing in. I see a lot of A's, almost all A's, a couple of 3, 4 B's. Predominantly the vote is A. All right, A's win it. No moving of the 6S stop. And we'll just put this buy to cover stop right there. So at least make a couple 3, 4 ticks out of it. And we're fading the bottom. It's right in the middle of our little box. Gold's still in the middle of the box here. Aren't you glad we got out of that 6J? Now, that's a little tip. You want to re-enter 6J here, or anybody want to go higher? It's retracing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull the gold target up a little bit, like into here. There's a predictor right there. See it? So we get reboxing gold. We're still in the trade, still making nice money on it. I mean, you know, let me clean this chart off and restart here because it's just starting to, that old stuff's going to confuse everybody. There. All right, that's clean. You know, so you got a couple of swings. I mean, you could make the case that it's checking a swing right now. In fact, a couple of you have said go in and red bar reshort 6J. Who's saying that? Carl, Michelle, Michael, David H, Walter. 6J sell now from Tom. All right, tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell a market right here because there's a lot of votes for that. And let's see if she gets up this high because it just wicked. I mean, you could make the case that this was a support resistance swing that we shorted the break of. We just shorted the break of it. Okay, so we did a market sell. We had a slippage of a tick. See it? So we're right at where it rolled. Many of you typed in KISS sell short, bar close red, turn on your bar close. Okay. All right, so we simulated a bar close. Now, where do we see the next swing and how high could it go if it continues to retrace? Well, you know, there's a couple of, you know, the mid band's right here. And then, you know, I would say above there, you're looking at, you know, up in that area right there. You know, so this could roll very much right here in your favor. And if it didn't, you know, rarely would I do this, but you could add to it up under here. It should roll if it got that high again. Getting a little heaviness on gold. See it rolling over? And okay, now when we do that, see, this is just a little technique. You're watching it in real time how I normally do it when I'm trading. It's just exactly like you see right here. When it starts to pull back up, I kind of push the stop just a little, give it a little wiggle room, and then as she drops and puts in a fresh swing, I drag that out of the way and let her drop. unless I have multiples on. If the multiples are on, I'll go ahead and pull a contract or two off. Let's suppose I have 16 or 20 short, like on NASDAQ or YM. I'll put 10, 12 or more, 15, 16 on. Then I'm pulling off a couple at a clip. So each one of these swings, 2 come off, and I roll the rest of the stops down. Two come off. The rest just rolls. Just repeat. As it gets on down, you're banking it, and then you're rolling the stops on the rest of it. Just exactly like you see me doing right here. That's exactly how I trade it. All right, we're checking the swing again here on, so what I'm saying, just to be clear on gold, if anybody's confused about what I'm talking about, if and when this swing breaks, I'll continue to move the target just slightly out of its weight, sort of taunting it to come get it, and then we'll pop that stop down. Like that. Just like this, just like I've been doing for the last 25 minutes. Everybody see that? Everybody see how we're doing that? Now, if we get a rollover and this question on the 6J target, do we want to go ahead and fade the bottom, buy the cover right here, or do we think we're going to get a runner? Type in A or B real quick, because it might bip down there and get it. Coming down on 6S, A is the close target, B, type it in quick. We got to make a decision here, A or B, quick. A is here, fading this by 2 ticks at the swing. B, you want the runner. What are you going to do? Quick. Ooh, a lot of Bs. I didn't think of that. I thought that everybody would vote for A. Okay, predominantly Bs. There was only like 1 or 2 As. All right, we'll leave a runner on, but we'll keep it tight. And I'm not going to sell it up here anymore. In fact, if this swing breaks at 734, or I'm sorry, 340, so for now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a protected buy to cover stop just above the wick of this candle right here. Now, you actually could go this tight. I would go that tight. Now, if this closes down through 340, see, it's closing now. I'm going to go ahead and take that free trade on. There's my free trade. See it? Everybody see that? We got the roll. And credit to the team. The team called that. You called the roll as it was happening. Very, very nice. Hats off, applause, gold star to you, you shorties who wanted that short. Gold's kind of hanging in the middle. See how it's retracing? Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to pull our target back up. Now, I want to start boxing this in a little bit because I want to start getting out of it. We're getting long in the tooth. Coming down. Now, if this candle closed down through that, bam, we just got our target on 6S. Just got it. Gold rolling over. We're starting to get some movement. So here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing. See it? All right, I get much more aggressive. Bam, it took it. Came right here. Just got out of it. Everybody see that? Take your buy to cover stop off. 6 gold starting to break. Gold starting to break precipitously. Bam! Just got it. Man, that was quick. Did you see that? Woo! Sweet. Watch it retrace all the way back up there. Nice trade. Nice trade. Good call, everybody. Way to go. That's the way you make some money. All right, let's see what she does here. Now, here's what you're going to do on this, all right? Just like that. I'm going to go just like this. Let's see if we can pop right. We're going to pop right through that bottom by 2 ticks, nail this target, or bip up and take that stop out. Look at this drop. Should have moved that 6S targets, taking that bottom out. Look at how we got out on that gold right there. Wasn't that sweet? Everybody see that? Bam, just like that. Don't you love trades like that? I mean, that's what keeps you coming back, isn't it? Just nailing good trades like that and then managing it properly as it moves in your favor. That's just that's the essence of the trade. That's what gets you up to do it every day. All right, now we could drag this out of the way. Here's how you do this. We're going to really give a tight box on this 6J trade. Tight, 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 tight. Tightaroo. You know, you might leave a little bit on the table. Oops. Might need a little bit on the table in the fact that we faded this bottom here on the 6S short. I think we got filled right as this candle closed here. This candle closed right through it. We were faded that bottom. You know, this might continue to drop a little bit. You can't feel bad about that. You can't feel bad about that because, you know, you never know. See, okay, we just got our stop. Missed our target by a couple of ticks here and it bipped and got the stop, and that way we got in a roll. Nice little scalper. Done. That's how you do it. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Well, Pervez, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and that's a good comment. He says this all makes sense, and now we're sitting here relaxed in an evening setting where things are moving nice and slow, and you get NASDAQ running wild, 50 or 60 ticks straight up and down, chasing it all over the place. Listen, for now, I want to make a comment on NASDAQ, and this is for everybody. If you can't handle that volatility on NASDAQ, then just you shouldn't trade it. Because right now in the morning, it is a wild banshee. It is a wild banshee. The algos are insane on that puppy. They are insane. And you have to ask yourself, can I handle that amount of risk? Walter, thanks for coming. Tom, I'm going to shut off the recorder. I do want to show this thing one more time. Please